Welcome to this video on how to make math lessons more engaging and meaningful for students through storytelling and real-life observations. Math can sometimes seem abstract and disconnected from the real world, but by incorporating stories and practical applications, we can help our students see the relevance and beauty of math. Let's get started. One way to make math lessons more engaging is by telling stories about mathematicians and scientists who have used math to solve real-world problems. To start with, think about a famous mathematician or scientist that can become a role model for your students. For example, let's look at Thales, an ancient Greek mathematician who used his knowledge of geometry to determine the height of pyramids. Thales' findings have applications in many areas, such as navigation and surveying. By sharing this story with our students, we can pique their interest and curiosity about math and its applications. Another way to make math lessons more meaningful is by incorporating real-life observations and applications. For example, we can have our students use a clinometer, an instrument used to indirectly measure the height of tall objects, such as trees and buildings. By doing so, they can apply their knowledge of right angles and similar triangles in a practical way. This not only makes math more relevant but also helps students develop important problem-solving and critical thinking skills. Let's create an activity that combines Thales' theorem with a real-life observation. We should take a closer look at a lesson plan that incorporates storytelling and real-life observations to make math more engaging and meaningful for students. First, we can divide the class into pairs of students with mixed math ability. Then, we can ask them what they recall about Thales and his theorem. We can also ask them to guess the applications of his findings in real life. Next, we can have a class discussion on how Thales determined the height of the Great Pyramid in Egypt. We can watch a video about Thales' journey in Egypt and encourage students to ask questions and engage in a debate. Prior to the practical activity, we can review right angles and the concept of a right-angle triangle, as well as the concept of similar triangles. We'll design a STEM activity where students build their own instrument, called a clinometer, to indirectly measure the height of tall objects such as trees and buildings. For the STEM activity, we can divide the class into pairs again and provide them with a worksheet and the resources needed to build their instrument for measuring the height of trees. Each pair can choose 3 tall trees in the courtyard and try to measure them using the stick method explained in the video and then the method that involves using the instrument they built. While performing their measurements outside, the teacher and another adult can watch them and provide support if needed. It's also important to take photos and notes about the students' progress. After the activity, we can ask the students to check if their findings match the results obtained before the activity. We can also have a reflection session where we ask questions such as, could you have used the theorem involving the 30-60-90 triangle to calculate the height of the tree? What are the possible sources of error? What else could you measure the height of using this technique and how? By incorporating storytelling and real-life observations in our math lessons, we can make them more engaging, relevant, and meaningful for our students. We hope this video has provided you with some ideas and inspiration for your next math lesson. Thank you for watching.